Hello, it's Heather Clifford with eXp Realty here in the Comox Valley and beautiful Campbell River areas with a market update for the end of January. In today's update, I would like to go over interest rates, what's in the news, and of course, the market stats that were released in early January for the end of the year, December 2023. I also like to say a big thank you and shout out to the people that leave me such great comments and ask me wonderful questions. I do really enjoy putting these presentations together for you, and let's get started. Okay, wonderful. It is the end of January, and I'm here with your market update. I want to give a big shout out to Yana for You Are Not Alone. I was so excited to get my tickets when they went on sale last Sunday, and I look forward to letting you know how that fundraising event goes here in the Comox Valley. We'll start off with our media release from Kelly O'Dwyer, who was the 2023 chair of the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board. And she says that based on conversations realtors are having with clients, there is certainly demand out there. So we are expecting a fairly busy spring. And I have to say, I have a number of buyers that are not from this area that are all coming this spring and are looking for property. So what I'm hoping is we get more supply on the market because we still have a lack of inventory for people to look at. She goes on to say, however, there are policy changes coming in 2024 that could impact the real estate market, such as the new rules surrounding short-term rentals. And this is going to take effect as of May 1st, 2024. She said another potentially significant policy change that could impact sales is the BC government's decision to expand the speculation tax to Parksville, Qualicum Beach, Courtenay, Comox, and Cumberland. And I myself am waiting to find out if that encompasses the regional district areas, such as where I live in Black Creek at Saratoga Beach. So we'll find out about that. We're also waiting to find out when our cities are going to implement the new changes that were coming from the provincial government regarding residential zoning. So we will update you on that as well. So what this new policy is saying in regards to BC government's decision on the speculation tax is vacant homes. So residents in those communities that I had mentioned must declare for the first time based on how they used their property in 2024. So this will be in 2025 that you will have to do a declaration saying if you use your property full-time or part-time vacation property or how you're using your property. In the news, what I find is very interesting, and one of the things that I am very micro when I'm talking about the Comox Valley and Campbell River. And when it comes to the news, remember that's more of a macro view of what's going on. So while we have to pay attention to it, it's also very important that you are getting your local information as well as what you're hearing on the news. So on the news right now, it says Northern BC Real Estate Board says expected rate cuts will likely spur sales in the Prince George area. Another article I was reading was BC real estate market to rebound in 2024. That comes from the British Columbia Real Estate Association's forecast. Now, having said that, when we go over the numbers, I'm going to take you back 6 months, 12 months, and I'm going to talk about the significant changes that actually have not happened despite the way that the news is making it sound. Provincial housing market outlook for 2024 is shaping up to be a better year. Now, a better year for home sales or a better year for buyers. I'm thinking it's going to be a busier real estate market once again. Canada's housing market measured uncertainty in 2023 while embracing positive expectations for 2024. Housing market 2024, what to expect with rate cuts in the forecast. Once again, those rate cuts, everyone is really talking about them. And here's what happened. So the rates did not move. We have the governor of the Bank of Canada, Tiff Macklin, saying that the central bank needs to stay the course as it continues to fight against high inflation. So most of the banks are predicting that the rates will eventually start going down. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen in March, so getting a pre-approval for 60 to 90 days, of course, is extremely beneficial for you if you are going to need a mortgage. However, it is talked that it's not going to be until June that the rates will start coming down. And how much will they come down? I did a little calculation for you in the next slide, just to put a little bit of reality in regards to the numbers. I liked this report that I read. Western Canada, a notable trend has been increasing demand for housing in the suburban and rural areas. As remote work becomes more prevalent, many Canadians are looking to escape the hustle and bustle, and I should say the expense of living in a big city, and embrace a more relaxed pace in a smaller, more affordable town, such as the Comox Valley or Campbell River areas. And that report came out of Nesto, which is, of course, a mortgage broking company. So what I did was I said, well, we're always talking about interest rates, and what if it came down a quarter of a point or 0.50 or even a full percentage? So right now you can count on an interest rate for a 5-year term for about 5%. So I looked at what the difference would be, and I never chose a smaller mortgage. I went with what is about an average price today to purchase a home, $800,000. And I said, if I had $800,000 and I put 20% down, so I'm no longer high financing, I don't have to get an insured mortgage through the Canadian Housing Mortgage Association, but I put 20% down. So that's $160,000. Yes, that is a lot of money. But in most cases, these people that are buying these homes that are $800,000 possibly are coming out of another property that they've sold, that they've seen the appreciation over the last 3 years. So what is that change? So I did a 4%. If the rates dropped a full percentage by the end of 2024, that same mortgage amount, which is $640,000, that's 20% down on an $800,000 purchase. The difference between 4% and 5% was $355 a month. So I have to ask a lot of the buyers that I'm working with, and actually I shouldn't say a lot of them. Most of my buyers are not sitting around and waiting for interest rates. But if you are, and you are feeling sensitive because of what you can afford, get your mortgage broker to pre-approve you and show you where the difference is between waiting for the rates to come down and what you can afford today, because this goes hand in hand with where I think our real estate market is going when it comes to the spring market and going into the summertime. So where did I get this information? It's easy, it's free, and no one has to bother you. You don't have to talk to anyone at this point if you're not ready to, but I just simply went on to realtor.ca to get this information. And it also tells me with the property transfer tax how much that would be on a purchase of $800,000, which is $14,000. You also have to save for your lawyer's fees, which I disagree with the amount that they're using here. They said $1,000. I'm thinking it's more like $2,000 or $3,000 today for the closing costs. And they also have a cost that I don't think is correct for a home inspection. Today, a home inspection is about $650 to $800 today. So take everything that you're reading with a grain of salt, but definitely get in there and see what it's going to cost you to make a move. Can you afford to do it? And when you put these numbers together, then call someone and get some help. Call me. I will tell you how much your home is worth if you're going to sell to move down the socio ladder, or maybe you're moving up into a bigger house. Whatever your reason is, get some facts, and with that information, it helps you to move forward more confidently. So I really enjoyed doing this exercise, and I think for a lot of people that are in the real estate market right now, you'd probably enjoy this exercise as well. So let's have a look at these numbers. And this is another exercise that I love to do. And I will show you where our market is today. But I want to look back 6 months, and then I want to look back a year in both Campbell River and Courtenay. So right now, as of the numbers closing off, they came to us in early January. December finished off with a benchmark price of $753,000, covering the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board area, which is Campbell River to Duncan. And those were the numbers that came up. You can look back to where we were in November and then look back to October. And what I have to say about October is that was the peak. That was the spike in the price in both Comox Valley and Campbell River. And I'll explain what I mean by the spike. But first of all, let's look at the other areas around that the board covers. All of the areas went down, and slightly, not a lot, but over the last 3 months, November, December, they have gradually dropped a little bit, maybe 5,000, maybe 8,000, except for Port Alberni. Now, Port Alberni was the one community that was not increasing in value the same as we did throughout July, August, September into October. But now all of the other areas have gone down a little bit in pricing, but Port Alberni has jumped up. So Port Alberni might be a good place to look for investing in property because, as you can see, it is looking more affordable. If we look across Canada, we can see where the average house prices are today. And remember, an average house price is when you take the highest price out and the lowest price out and put all the houses together, that is what your average price is. And Vancouver, we are not, but it's sitting at $1.2 million, and it's very close, actually. Victoria's not far behind Vancouver as far as what the average price of a home is. But across British Columbia in general, we have gone up 6% over last year. And that's what I want to talk about, because if you follow me month after month, you will see in our next slide that December we went down from November. And if we go to October, that was the spike. That was our spike in the market. So in Campbell River 3 months ago, we were sitting at 668,000. And today we're at $653,000. If you go back 1 year in Campbell River, a year ago, you could look at the benchmark price for a single detached home was $607,000. So in actual fact, we have gone up to 653. That is where I'm saying these spring markets are making a difference, because right now we are a little bit sluggish and sellers are not really moving much on their price because it takes longer to bring prices down than it does for prices to go up. And if you look at the Comox Valley, we're looking at exactly the same thing. So 1 year ago, we were at 770,500, whereas today we are sitting at 820,600. And so that's about $50,000 that we have gone up in 1 year. And the spike once again happened exactly at the same time 3 months ago in the Comox Valley was 842,000. So that's about 22,000 we've gone down over a 3-month period. Now, if that all sounds confusing to you, I apologize, but stop the video, look at these numbers and ask yourself, am I willing to wait until rates come down a full percentage point, let's say by the end of the year, early 2025, and while house prices continue to move down slightly or slowly each month like they have in the last 3 months? I don't think they are going to. I think we have a pent-up demand of buyers out there. And I think by May, June, July, our market is going to be buzzing again, exactly like it has the last 3 years. So the thing about real estate is, why are you buying it? And is it time for you to make that purchase or for you to sell? So everyone is going to have their own reason. I just love going through the numbers and figuring things out. And if you'd like to talk more about these numbers, call me. I'd love to bring them over and sit down and hash it out with you. Apartments we can look at today in Campbell River, our benchmark pricing has gone down again. We were at 322,000. And if we go back 3 months ago, we were at 343,000. So that's a good $20,000. And if you go back 12 months ago, we are sitting exactly the same. Nothing has changed in 1 year when it comes to the condo market. Let's have a look at the Comox Valley. We're sitting at a benchmark price for a condo now at $348,400. We are down over $10,000 from last month. If we pop back 3 months ago, you can see that that's almost a $30,000 decrease. But if we go back a year ago, we were at $359,600. So it was higher by about $10,000 in condos a year ago. In the townhouse market today in the Campbell River area, we're at $529,300. Once again, a peak in the market was not 3 months ago. It was actually in Campbell River, it was 6 months ago. So last summer, July, it was 539,000. So it was about $10,000 more to buy a townhouse 6 months ago. And if we go back a full year, it is less, 516,500. So in a year's time, that townhouse market has gone up slightly by about, I'd say, $13,000. In the Comox Valley today, the townhouse benchmark price is $555,500. Nice round number. It is down by about $8,000 over last month and only about $2,000 over 3 months ago. And if I go back a year ago, we were at 543,900. So in 1 year, we have actually gone up about $12,000. So that is where we are sitting at right now in the townhouse market. Here's a little summary if you like to look at how many sales we had this year over last year. In the Campbell River area, we had more sales this year than we did in 2022 in Campbell River. And in the Comox Valley, we had less sales. So just stop the slide. You can look at average pricing. You can look at the number of sales that have happened in the single detached homes. If you are a condo or a townhouse owner and you would like more statistics for your home, by all means, just ask me. I can email them to you or we can sit down and talk about them. I wanted to touch base, as I always do every month, on who's buying or selling real estate today. And so I look at who I'm working with. The number of market evaluations that I'm actually doing right now is quite a few, which tells me that I'm going to be very busy this spring with putting homes on the market. And I'm just one real estate agent. So if a number of us are feeling this way, I feel we have a little bit of a heated spring market on its way. So we have people that are rate holders. I say no, those people are not the people that are necessarily sitting and waiting to buy because nothing has happened to rates in 4 announcements now. Estate sales, yes, we have a number of those for different reasons, not necessarily because people have passed away, but for different reasons. Transfers, lots of transfers. I am working with a couple of people that are actually not just transferring locally, but they are leaving BC. And some of them have chose to leave BC for affordability purposes because you can get much more for your money the further east and the colder it gets, is how I like to put it. Not so many investors right now. I'm feeling like the investors are kind of sitting on the fence, waiting to see what's going on. Yes, unfortunately, there's always going to be the divorce and the downsizing situation. Like I was mentioning, in the next 3 years, over 1 million Canadians will retire, and the pandemic actually slowed retirement slightly. The lower interest rates in the past have cost us in our savings, and so some people are having to work a little bit longer. Here's a very interesting stat that I'm keeping personally myself, and that is the last 5 offers that I have worked on in mid-December till today, not one of those buyers needed a mortgage, and every single one of those properties went into multiple offers. Now, I was doing a market evaluation in Comox, and between, I think it was 850,000 and 1.3 million in the last 6 months, there has not been one house sell in multiple offers, except for one, and it sold $1,000 over. Well, we just did a sale this past week, multiple offers, 3 buyers at the table, and this property sold 51,000 over asking price. So there's people out there that are not necessarily investors, but have money to purchase a home without taking a mortgage. I will talk about a couple of properties also that are coming up in the slides coming. I left this in here for the trickle-down effect of wealth in Canada because a couple of people reached out to me in regards to this. So it was of interest. You can stop the slide and read this on your own. I reviewed it in the last video. Here is our week snapshot month over month. So this was this week. You can see the listings are coming on over December, but let's face it, December traditionally has always been a slower month because that is the celebratory month. There is holidays, Christmas, people going on vacation, family coming in, all kinds of reasons why listings are less. So January is off to a good start. Pending sales is pretty much the same. Price decreases, pretty much the same. And you can see the completion of sales in January has been a little bit slower, but that's because the listings were slower in December as well. My little house on Clarkson went into multiple offers and is now sold. And that was, I'm very happy about that for my young lady who was selling it. I had a new listing on 14th Street, which came at Christmas time, and I sold that very fast. It was a beautiful townhome. It is a beautiful townhouse in a very convenient, nice location. And that could have been multiple offers, but the other buyer did not want to go into a multiple offer situation. My foreclosure on Campbell River Road actually completed today and has now changed hands from the bank to the new owner. That was in court at Christmas time, and there was also multiple offers on that property. I have a brand new listing on a very nice little 2-bedroom patio home at a good affordable price of $458,800. It's had a lot of renovations over the last few years, from the flooring to the kitchen to the beautiful fireplace. And it has relatively low maintenance fees of $292 in that complex. And that is in central Campbell River. I also have relisted lot 24 on Coleman Road in Courtney. That is a kind of like the Merville area closer to Bates Beach. It is a beautiful over half-acre lot for $410,000. And it is on the corner of Coleman Road and Loxley Road. So you could use your driveway off of Loxley. And I was mulling around ideas with a buyer about putting a prefab home on a lot. And so basically for about $400,000, including your septic and well, and the purchase of the lot at 400, so about $800,000, you could have a brand new 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom little pod home, if that's something that of interest to you. So that is my market update for January. I hope that you found this interesting and valuable, the information. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm really looking forward to doing the stats when they come out for January in a couple of weeks from now, as well as the Yana event at the end of February. I'll tell you all about that special occasion. And that's it. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you next month.